Do you often say, I'd love to start going to the gym more, I really got to get to the gym more often, or I'd love to spend more time with my partner, my friends, I'd really love to eat healthier and do all these things and be productive throughout the day? Is that something that you do? It's definitely something I've done in my past. Hey guys, my name's Stanley, and let me take you through my morning routine and show you how I get everything that's important to me done before I open my first email. So first of all, I get up at 5 a.m. Now, getting up at 5 a.m. is arbitrary. For you, it might be 6, it might be 4. It doesn't really matter. What does matter is that you have enough time between when you wake up to when you start doing your job or your business or whatever it is that you do. And in that time, you get all the things done that are really important to you. Now, the hardest part of getting up at 5 isn't waking up. It's actually going to bed the night before. So that means going to bed at 9 p.m. And in summer in New Zealand here, the sun doesn't go down until 9 p.m. The sun's still out, there's birds chirping, and you're trying to go to bed. That is what's tough. But once you start getting into a rhythm of things and you start doing it, you can actually fall asleep. It's just the fact that you're going to bed at 9 p.m. when everyone else is still awake. And that's the hard part. And also, you finally get through your day, it's 5 o'clock, you finish work, you have dinner, you do some night stuff, you're watching TV, and all of a sudden, it's 9 o'clock or 8:30 and you've got to get to bed. That's what I find the hardest part about my morning routine, is getting to bed on time. But once you get into a routine, getting up at 5 a.m. is actually not that hard. The trick for me, getting up in the morning, is just throwing my legs out of my bed every day. As soon as my legs are off over the bed, I'm up. There's nothing stopping me from that point. I'm gonna get up, I'm already done it, my light's on, and I just go through the flow. And as you see through this video, it's a pretty prescribed pattern that I go through every day to ensure that I set myself up for success. Some of the most important things that I need to do in the morning is go to the gym, spend quality time with Claire, and start my eating habits off the right way by eating a really decent breakfast. And then just decluttering my work life so that when work does start, everything's taken care of. And so to start with, caffeine, right? This is me. I'm an ex-hospitality professional. That's what I've done my whole career, is just drunk so much coffee that I'm addicted to it. I'm not saying that you should or you shouldn't drink caffeine, but I need it. So what I start my day off with is a pre-workout. Now, I would prefer coffee, but to get in the same amount of caffeine drinking coffee, I need to have 3 or 4 cups of coffee. I don't have time in the morning, I've got a pretty strict schedule that I get to, so I wake up in the morning and I have a pre-workout. I currently have around about 300 milligrams of caffeine in the morning. Now that's quite a bit, but I'm about to go and burn it off. I'm about to spend 2 hours exercising, so I really do think that amount of caffeine is okay for the morning that I've set out for myself. Once I have my morning pre-workout, I get my shoes on, I get my bag ready, and I usually wait till about 5:15 or so until I make sure Claire's up as well. I get her up, we're out the door, and we're walking to the gym from about 5:30 in the morning. Now we walk to the gym because cardio and doing some cardiovascular stuff is important. We don't enjoy it, but it's necessary. And we use that walk to and from the gym as our cardio for the day. One of our targets is to hit 10,000 steps, and by walking to the gym and back, we get about 7,000 to 8,000 in the morning, which means that for the rest of the day, we're probably gonna get enough steps in just from daily life to hit our 10,000 target. For me, going to the gym is a real meditative process, right? Like, I get there, I put my earpods in, I listen to Audible, I go through my workout plan, and I just really concentrate on going through my thoughts and listen to this book. And I use that process to sort of like declutter my mind as such and get that clarity so I can set my day up the right way. It's such an important part of my day that not just I get physical exercise, but I get mental clarity that without it, I really struggle to get through the day productively. Those internal distractions of myself are caused through this lack of like energy release and mental clarity, right? So for me, it's such an important part of my day that I just can't function properly without it. Now, there's obviously the benefits of working out as well, and those parts are really good, and I love that, right? Like making sure that I feel fit, I feel strong, I'm in good shape, I aren't too heavy or too big, which obviously helps promote a healthy lifestyle and clear a head, right? Now the other big part of going to the gym is I get to read. I get to use my Audible and being able to really progress through a lot of books. I read probably 1 book a week on average, sometimes more, and this process of reading helps me really grow as a person, grow as a business leader, and grow as a partner, and grow as a friend. and it's been the biggest parts of my transformation over the last few years and turned me into the man I am today. This business that I've built, this YouTube channel, and all these things that I do, I wouldn't have been able to do without reading. One, I wouldn't have had the mental clarity, I wouldn't have had the knowledge, I wouldn't have had the ideas and the inspiration to do these things. It's helped me become a much better leader by making me reflect back on who I used to be as a leader and how to overcome some of those flaws to be a better one into the future, so that my team have a better chance of succeeding and growing my business. From this point on in the morning, it's really dedicated to Claire. The walk home, we've now woken up, had that time to have that mental clarity and work out, and we're feeling good and we got endorphins from working out. Claire and I have some deep conversation on the walk home. It's where it really starts. We're able to share stories of our books that we've been reading or issues that we may have in life that we want to discuss. And that's what that walk home allows us to do. We then get home and it's breakfast. And this is really, really crucial part of my day. I love being able to have breakfast with Claire. We don't work in the same place. She has her own office in another part of town. I work from home, and so we don't see each other for about 8 hours. So this next part's really important for me, as it allows me to spend some real good quality time with Claire that isn't just sitting in front of YouTube as you do when you come home at the end of the day. You're tired, of course. You sit on the couch and you watch things together. The morning is about us time. We get to talk, we get to discuss, we eat a meal together. It's really a way for us to connect, start the day off right. So breakfast is always the same as well. It's always eggs. Claire always had bagels and something like that, but I always have eggs, sometimes on a bagel, but it's always eggs. It helps me kickstart a sort of meal plan that I have for myself throughout every day. I'm the sort of person who can eat a lot, and if you give me a sniff, I'll eat everything in the fridge, right? So by eating the same thing every day, it sort of sets me up to say, hey, look, you've done that right to start with, eat the next thing right, the next thing right. And it stops me from overindulging, putting on lots of weight, and it helps me maintain a healthy lifestyle, right? And I usually eat my eggs always with a protein shake. And the protein shake is just another way of getting some protein in for the day and ensuring that I'm getting enough of that, because for me and my diet and the way that I need to survive, protein is a big part of it. And the more protein I eat, the less carbs I eat. And the less carbs I eat means the less calories I consume. And at the moment, I'm in a bit of a journey to reduce some of my weight, given last year in 2020, in isolation, I put on a lot, right? I put on 12 kgs. So this is about me being able to take that weight off now that I've got back into routine and life's back to normal somewhat. And so protein heavy diet for me keeps me satiated and stops me from binging, and it keeps me fuller longer so that I can go from breakfast all the way to lunch without having to snack on stuff. And no breakfast is complete without coffee, right? Like, I'm a massive coffee snob. I love it. I drink it all the time. I love the taste of it. At home, I'm lucky enough to have a few options. I've got an espresso, I've got a plunger coffee, I also have a mocha pot, and because where I live, I've got a cafe literally next door where I can go down and get a freshly made coffee from them. So for me, coffee is a must as part of my breakfast. I then am able to sit down with my eggs, my protein shake, and my coffee and enjoy the morning with Claire. It's where some of our best conversation happens, and it's where we really connect and be able to kick off our day the right way. So we get to have that real intimate time with each other when there is no one around, emails aren't blasting yet, phones aren't going off, and we can just sit and relax and enjoy each other's company. After that, obviously, life gets in the way. We start having to get ready for work. We start getting set up for the day. But then before the day starts, it's really important that I go through my emails. The last piece I wanted to talk about in this video is my email block. I do an email block first thing in the morning, and it's super important before I start my day. It's always in my diary. It blocks out time so no one can book meetings with me, and I have an hour solid locked in to go through emails. And the reason I do this is because people put in stuff all night. At the end of the day, there's a whole bunch of stuff that comes in. There's also a whole bunch of emails I need to send out to people, prospects and follow-ups and leads and things like that I need to do. So I block out this hour, I get through my whole inbox and ensure there's nothing left. All my little teeny tiny tasks that I need to do are all done. So when I start meetings at 10 a.m., which is most of my day is meetings, I am no longer having to worry about my inbox until my next email block, which is usually about 1 or 2 o'clock. So for me, emails is such an important part of my day. It really helps declutter again my workstation. I get on my desktop and there's nothing there due from 10 o'clock onwards. And the reason I'm on meetings so often in my day is not just meetings for the sake of meetings. My role in my company is the head of sales. That's really what I do. Yeah, I might be the owner and it might be my business, but I'm also the biggest driver of business into my company. And so a lot of my day is spent with prospects and clients and things like that, trying to sell more product, sell more services, nurture clients, whatever it is that I need to do to ensure that the growth of the business continues. And so because I'm in meetings all day, I don't have time to be doing admin all the time and be in and out of inboxes. So I spend a good hour on the day, I get everything done, and then I usually get back into it about 2 o'clock. And so from 10 o'clock until 2 o'clock, that 4 hours, it's blocked out. There isn't any time, right? I'm doing other things and I don't have to worry about emails. So it's a really, really important part of my day, and it sets me up for a massive piece of success. So I hope that look into my morning routine gives you some insight on how maybe you can better your morning routine so that you can get more things done and just truly focus on the things that are important to you first thing in the day, so that as the day starts throwing stuff at you, you don't lose time for what's important. Thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this video. I'd love some feedback. It's the first one that we've done this year, and it's a new thing that we're trying as part of the business. So please give me some feedback. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next week, guys. Cheers.